Good evening. It's certainly an honor and privilege to be here on behalf of the people of Newfoundland and Labrador for such a significant event. Hibernia, the word means so much to so many. Prosperity, employment, opportunity, invention. For me, it's more than all of those. For me, the word that comes to mind with Hibernia is simple: believe. Believe in a dream, to believe in the political will and the engineering expertise to succeed, to believe in the future, to believe in an industry that didn't exist. While all true, Hibernia extends beyond those platitudes. What it really means is belief in Newfoundland and Labrador, belief in who we are, how hard we work, and how we can reinvent ourselves again and again and again. Hibernia, in its very essence, is the belief in the spirit of Newfoundland and Labrador. And that is why we are here tonight. They said it couldn't be done, but belief in ourselves and our resourcefulness proved them wrong. 25 years proved them wrong. Pioneers in a new frontier. That's how former Hibernia Management and Development Company head Harvey Smith described Hibernia at the time. 25 years ago, he told a crowd of hopeful Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, "We've done it. We have first oil." The ceremony was actually held just across the street, and some of you, I'm sure, were there. They gave out these tiny glass barrels with drops of first oil inside, and actually one of them sits in the Premier's office today. It represents a tiny memento from that day that brought about big changes for our province. It represents hope. As a young man in my early 20s, I knew this was big, real big. You could sense the optimism. You could feel the excitement on the streets in St. John's and the communities around our beautiful province. But think about that particular time. Just 5 years earlier, the federal government announced the cod moratorium. The decision shuttered the fishery that was synonymous with this place, with who we are, putting close to 30,000 women and men out of work. Undeniably a dark time in Newfoundland and Labrador. Now fast forward 5 years to a day that brought hope back to the possibility of a bright, no, a significantly bright future for this place. In that same year, as you recall, we celebrated the 500th anniversary of John Cabot's voyage. Now, a vessel with quite a different look took to those very same waters, but this time to pursue hope and the oil riches that lay beneath the sea. With cod all but extinct and exhausted, that first trickle of black gold from the gravity-based platform over 300 kilometers away carried big expectations and even bigger dreams. As Smith's impactful statement echoed across the province, oil replaced cod as king, hope was reborn, and a new leading industry was on the horizon, attracting multinational oil players from all over the world. It became the catalyst for our economic prosperity and the very foundation that brought greater wealth to the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. As you've already heard, there were naysayers. And a Maclean's Magazine article from July 1995 noted that the province was due to receive $1.4 billion in royalties by 2018. Well, as you've heard tonight, and I can proudly tell this room, after first oil in 1997, up to the year of 2018, the province actually received $11.5 billion in royalties from Hibernia, almost 8 times more than originally projected. This in itself demonstrates the importance and significance of this project to the people of Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, when you include the Hibernia Southern Extension, the total royalties received to date sits just short of $15 billion. This represents more than a fiscal equation. This represents massive contributions to our province, to healthcare, to education systems, to schools, bridges, and roads. In addition, however, to its monetary significance, Hibernia's contribution, and I argue its legacy, is the development and growth of this industry. While something half the size of the Eiffel Tower was out there somewhere, something massive was being developed on these very shores, our shores. As the pioneer development of a new frontier, not only did it help build an industry, it helped build a workforce, one that can keep up with emerging technologies, changing fields, and major projects. Of course, I'm talking about a service and supply sector which now spans across the full spectrum of the local oil and gas value chain, and playing a key role in supporting direct and indirect employment. Yes, Hibernia required significant capital to develop the infrastructure required to support its offshore operations, but in so doing, they laid the groundwork for the future developments in our Grand Banks. An industry built by proud, hardworking women and men you can find now on every major oil project around the world. In fact, I was talking with someone here tonight, an executive who's just recently back home, and he said in his travels as an Exxon executive, he was in Guyana and walked into a room. There was multiple people from multiple different countries sat around a table discussing a new project. There was 12 or 15 people at the table. 6 of them were from Newfoundland and Labrador. A strong workforce, internationally renowned, a strong workforce that we are all so incredibly proud of. Just last year, I was fortunate enough, as Margot suggested and stole my thunder, to visit the Hibernia platform. It was a cloudy day as we boarded the helicopter, but just clear enough to take off. And for most of the flight, we saw nothing. Then as we approached the site, the top of that impressive feat of engineering broke through the clouds. It was truly jaw-dropping, truly amazing, inspirational. But what was more inspirational was once we boarded the GBS, meeting the staff gave insight into the pride they all feel. Some had spent 2 decades or more working there. It was their career. It was their home. It made it possible for them to support their families while staying in this beautiful province that they love. I was completely inspired. The sheer size of the GBS was also something to behold. And to think about how all that steel and concrete was put together at Bull Arm and then floated there to tap this resource. And to see that one critical part of that piece of infrastructure, how small it was, the crucial part, the intake. And to try to imagine how so many things had to be done so precisely, so accurately to make it all work. Well, it did. We did, as Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. An engineering marvel known around the world. On that day on the GBS, I thought and reflected, however, about the workers and the protest that they had on the steps of the Confederation building just months earlier. I thought about those women and men who brought their children there to fight for their jobs, to fight for their livelihoods. 2 years ago, they feared for the future of this very industry. And at the time, no doubt, there was incredible uncertainty. The Terra Nova FPSO was taken offline. The West Right Rose project at Argentia was mothballed, and drilling was even scaled back. They said, not us, they said, oil was dead. But we didn't think so. We fought to save this industry that has given so much for this province, and for that matter, the country. We fought to get West Right Rose back on track, and construction is happening again this year. We fought to get the Terra Nova back in service, and she is coming back online this year. We fought to get another major project, Bay du Nord, another step closer to reality. We fought because, like those before us, for Hibernia, we believe. We believed because it was the right thing to do, and it's what's best for this province. And of course, this was all done with Hibernia as the foundation of that work, the foundation of the province's oil industry. As I reflect on this momentous occasion, it shows us really, if anything, how quickly we can turn things around. First oil at Hibernia was just 5 years after the cod moratorium. Our experience then in both cod and oil have taught us that natural resources are a precious commodity that need to be managed carefully to maximize the benefit for all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. Premier Brian Tobin remarked that November 17th, 1997 was the birth of an industry for this province. And that was the day, tomorrow, the anniversary, that Hibernia established Newfoundland and Labrador as a player on the world stage in oil and gas. Now, we all know that the oil and gas industry continues to evolve, and we're evolving with it. HMDC, along with all the companies and people involved in the Hibernia project, should be commended for their hard work and congratulated for their oil production and commitment to responsible development. While we are moving towards an energy transition, the oil and gas industry will continue to play a critical role for us as a province, a critical role in that piece of transition for many, many years to come. An industry that not only fuels our people and our economy, but also builds that bridge to new sustainable energy options. That is the legacy of Hibernia, an energy legacy. Tonight we are here to celebrate a true Newfoundland and Labrador success story. I would suggest it's like no other. The road to get there was certainly not without its share of challenges. But isn't that what defines us as a people, as a place? People who have a vision, have a passion, and are not afraid of the hard work to get the job done. Of course, remember, oil was discovered in the Hibernia field in 1979, and it took 18 years to get that oil from beneath the ocean surface. Why did it take so long? Well, because, as Charlene said earlier, they didn't think it could be done. They didn't think that Newfoundland and Labrador deserved our chance. Well, people like John Crosby fought for Hibernia. He saw the potential. Others shared that potential and that dream with him. They fought, they persevered, they never bent in their pursuit because they believed. Just like we did 2 years ago when they said oil was dead. Congratulations to Hibernia and its project partners, including the Southern Extension Co-Ventures, Chevron, Suncor, Equinor, Murphy Oil, Canada Hibernia Holding Company, and Nalcor Oil and Gas. Hibernia stands as a testament to your vision, to your commitment, a monument to your belief in the spirit of Newfoundland and Labrador. Congratulations, and here's to 25 more years.